could, but especially the mature oaks.
Sure.
They provide a lot of shade and they're beautiful and, you know, native to Florida. So we worked with the contractor to design the parking lot in a way that we could really maximize the ability to keep these trees. So a large amount of these more mature oaks that you see that we're standing under the nice shade canopy, we were able to keep a lot of these trees. Some of the smaller oak trees and some of the older palm trees we won't be able to keep, but we worked with the city arborist to ensure that, you know, we did the best we could with how that design can be, and found out that honestly some of the palm trees are at their end of life as is.
Got it. Okay, well that's great. I know a lot of the residents are going to really appreciate that as well. So to cap it off, service is staying the same. Everyone's getting the same level going forward.
Yeah, Madison, you're right. So the crews that normally operate out of this fire station are just going to be a little ways down the road in a temp station with a temporary apparatus bay. And all of our administrative staff from Fire Rescue are moving into City Hall, which is right down the street. And if you need anything from Fire Rescue, you can go in the front doors of City Hall, turn to your left where Economic Development just moved into, and you'll see a friendly face from Fire Rescue ready to help you out.
That's great, continuing to provide that exceptional customer service. So I really appreciate all the information, Chief. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
The city wakes before you do. Quiet work already in motion. Work continues even after you've gone. The way forward, kept ready. Every step, every turn, prepared long before you arrive. When your day ends, others begin theirs. Every hour, every act, quietly connected.
Most of us don't think about how our city works. We drive on maintained roads, we call when there's an emergency, we assume someone's keeping it all running, and they are. Northport University gives residents a chance to step behind the scenes, to meet the people doing the work, to see how decisions are made, and to understand how we, as a community, can be part of it.
Good evening. Today is Tuesday, March 24th, 2026 at 6 p.m. We're in the city chambers and I call the city commission regular meeting to order. Commissioners present are Commissioner Duvall, Commissioner Stokes, Mayor Emmerich, Vice Mayor Langdon, and Commissioner Petro. There is a quorum present for this meeting. Also present are City Manager Fletcher, City Attorney Fuino, City Clerk Foss, Board Specialist Linder. We have Police Chief Garrison and Fire Chief Titus in the back. I'm gonna call on Mr. Van Buskirk. Can you lead us in the pledge, sir? Thank you, sir. Need a motion to approve the agenda?
Second.
Have a motion on the floor made by Commissioner Stokes, seconded by Vice Mayor Langdon to approve the agenda as presented. If there's nothing to that, please vote. That passes 5-0. Moving on, City Clerk, any public comment?
Yes, I have Joan Morgan, followed by Valdi Olander, Alina Stolarski, and Tim Doyle.
Good evening, okay? What I'm spreading today is something easy, okay? I just want to invite everybody to April 7th at the Morgan Center. Holly's Hope is going to have the candidates for school board there, and we need an audience. We want them there. This is going to be our chance to ask them questions. Our own Elaine has been the one working to get them there, and we are going to present our best too. We're going to have our kids there, some kids there from Teen Court and our scholarship winners from there, and we're going to have our very own DeFi kids there that shine all the time. And we want to show off our best, and we want them to leave there saying Northport's great, Northport cares, and the people care. And we've got to, if we're getting all those candidates down here, it's going to be a one-time shop deal, okay? We can't be there with 10, 15 people in the audience. This is our time. Let's ask them any question, and let's see where they stand on the issues, and make sure that they understand that Northport counts, that we're the biggest, we're the best, and we're the largest, okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Valdi Olander?
Good evening. I am Valdi Olander. I come here in peace, and I am not a criminal. And I have a dignity. I am instructing you, Emrich, to respect my dignity. I am instructing you, Emrich, to remove cup of my back, please. I am ashamed to be American citizen in Northport, Florida. One more time. I am very ashamed to be American citizen in Northport, Florida. Your silence can only be equated with fraud, where there is legal and moral duty to speak. Silence is not golden. It is confession. Emrich, are you mayor in the name only, or in the name and substance? One more time on the public trust. People must benefit from it. You cannot take people's civil rights away. Again, where is this document? I will call it now fatwa, is very catchy lately, that I given up my civil rights. Produce it. I did instruct you many times before to write authority to each agenda, item on the agenda. In the laws of the United States, there is such a doctrine like ultra vires, which means beyond powers, which means beyond authority. And second one is intra vires, which is valid authority. None of it here, neither ultra or intra. And this is not a duty of manager to propose agenda. Who is it then? ask your attorney, please. In the end, I am considered to transition into a horse, since animals have more sympathy than people. However, I have a dilemma. To be a thoroughbred or Clydesdale? Any suggestion? Ee-ha-ha!
Alina Stolarski?
Good evening. My name is Alina Stolarski. It's been a couple of years since I've been here. I'm here about Mineral Springs. Some of you know me. And some of you I don't know. I haven't seen you here, new people. I have a couple of questions, and a few people that don't speak English that well ask me to represent them. One question is they would like to have extension on the tickets where we have it for 6 months no entry. They would love to go back to where it was 1 year, that you could use it in 1 year. And there's some showing on Facebook that you are raising prices on entry, which nothing's been done to the lake, no improvements whatsoever. We've been paying, and residents especially went up $75 for the 6 months, which is a lot for us. I haven't been going like through the whole winter. Today was the first time I went, and I haven't seen any improvement whatsoever. Nothing's changed. The fence is still there, the old one, nothing improved. I think if you could, I know that you're having some issue, and the sewers are supposed to be going in later on, and you can't start the building, but like a couple of buildings where people can go and change their clothes, because you really don't have a changing room. If you go to the bathroom, it's all wet and it's not comfortable, and it's something that can stay there. We're making money there. There's 600 people coming almost on a daily basis. It's one of the parks that makes money for the city. So we should be showing some improvement to the people. Other suggestions, a lot of people saying there should be a designated area for children. And there is some problem with that. The younger kids, like 6 or 5, hanging on the rails. When you're trying to go out and walk, you can't grab into it because there's 2 kids here, 2 kids there, so you kind of waiting for the parents or somebody to say, please get off of that, and nobody's saying because nobody has a right to say, which is not right. A lot of places you go, you have a designated area for adults to swim in the deep water, children where it's younger, so they feel safer and the adults feel safer. So if somebody can, how much money have we now? Because it's been a few years since we had so many amount put aside. We got them $230,000 grant, I believe it was said, to do some landscaping and things like that in there. So if we could get some answers.
Thank you.
Okay, I appreciate if you could give us some answers on that. Okay, thank you.
Tim Doyle?
1 second, please. City manager, could you have staff get with this lady and possibly set up a meeting time or whatever to where they can get some of those answers for her since she's representing a few people?
I believe we've already given her the answer she's looking for via email and said that we were not extending the passage at this time and gave her the reason why, if I'm not mistaken. Did we not send you an email, ma'am, regarding those questions?
I've seen it where there was going to be extension. What I'm saying, there was no reason. And like I'm saying, that nothing's been upgraded in the lakes for over 2 years or more.
The upgrades that are happening at Warm Middle Springs are still in process, and I believe that we have information coming back in April, if I'm not mistaken, that will allow those plans to go forward. Those plans that you're referring to are not necessarily tied date for date for the increase that you're referring to. So I don't want you to think that we promised that those upgrades would be tied to those improvements. The improvements are happening, And those passes were sold for a discounted rate, if I'm not mistaken, for a 6-month period. And it was stated on those passes how long they would be valid when people bought them. And I do understand that people bought them in bulk, thinking that they could use them for longer than 6 months, because that's why they bought them, thinking we would extend the deadline. But we have explained via email why that deadline will not be extended.
Okay, I did not see that email.
We'll be happy to send it to you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, ma'am.
I want to stay on the tax thing I was talking about, especially after hearing that. I went to the water park with the kids a couple years back, and it was a certain price, and then I went back again with some other kids, and I thought it nearly doubled. I don't know how much these prices have gone up over the years. I understand stuff has to go up over the years. This is going to become a bigger issue down the road here. And you're going to have to make some decisions on the taxing to make it fair. This morning I mentioned something. Again, we have businesses ripping people off right now with the pennies. To me, that's thievery. When I first started in the business I ran, we made pennies on the dollar, literally 1 or 2 pennies on every dollar. When you have a volume business, you know how much money that adds up to? That's a lot of money, man. I retired early. I know how much money it is. So first off, we need to fix that problem in town here. These merchants can't be ripping people off like this. Again, this is Rick Scott's fault, Donald Trump's fault, Greg Stubbe's fault, taking away the penny. Now people are getting robbed. I don't want the taxes just to move to the bottom. To me, that could be one of the best ways to make up some of the money, and it's divided over everybody. I would even rather see a penny gas tax. You know why? 1973, you guys brought up 1973 in this room, smoking in the boys' room. I remember 1973. I was selling stuff to people sitting in cars who couldn't get gas. Odd and even days. You guys have no idea what's going to happen to this country. Who cares what gas costs? You can still pull up to the pump and get it. When I was a kid, people would sit in a car for 12 hours and the gas station would have run out of gas when they were sitting in the second car back, and they had to wait another 2 days to get gas. You think I'm making this up? Some of you up there should be old enough to know. We got idiot politicians all over this country, not just in this room. This is ridiculous. And if we vote in something and you just circumcise the law, you're the biggest shysters I ever saw in my life. And look up the definition because it fits.
Thank you. Moving on to announcements. City Clerk.
The current vacancies for the following boards and committees include Art Advisory Board, Auditor Selection Committee, Charter Review Advisory Board, Citizen Tax Oversight Committee, Community Economic Development Advisory Board, Debt Management Committee, Environmental Advisory Board, Historic and Cultural Advisory Board, Joint Management Advisory Board, Police Officers Pension Trust Fund Board of Trustees, Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, and Planning and Zoning Advisory Board. Sarasota County Advisory Council vacancies include 1 resident of Northport to serve on the Sarasota Manatee Metropolitan Planning Organization's Citizen Advisory Committee, and 1 resident of Northport to serve on the Citizens Oversight Committee for School Facility Planning. If anyone would like more information, please see the City Clerk's office. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to consent agenda. City Manager, have any items been pulled?
No, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Any public comment?
Tim Doyle.
I guess an A would be a yes by me, And I would hope the police would take shotguns there and practice with the shotguns, please, as I think they might need to use them in the future here. So that's a definite yes. I don't really care about the power. I think it's a good thing, C. Training is always good. I didn't read up on the FBI thing, but I hope you're not selling my information to the FBI. They already steal it. E now. Approve 3 updated templates for code enforcement hearing officer. Orders include order of compliance, order of assessment administration fine, and order to assess a fine for tree removal without authorization. Why do you think you guys might want to think I might want to talk about this one? Some guy came on my property and cut down a tree without authorization to put up a fence a few years back. You know what I was told? I would be arrested if I took down the fence for destruction of private property, even though it was on my property. But someone came onto my property, cut down the tree that because of your landscape standards when the house was built was planted. Up north, if you take someone's tree, it's 3 times damages. So if that tree costs, what, $1,000 to buy and another $1,000 to put in the ground, where was my $6,000? Trees are worth money, man. I love how you can do fines, but you don't protect the people's property. If someone went to Home Depot and took that tree, they'd be arrested. Grand larceny, it's over $1,000, right? They steal it from my house, it's not a big deal. So I disapprove with that. If I own the property, I should be able to cut down any tree on my own property. I shouldn't have to go beg you guys to cut down a tree on my property that I pay property taxes for. And giving them a fine on top of it? Are you fining the illegal aliens who are in town? Or are you only fining against the American citizens who cut down trees on their property? Incredible.
Thank you. Request a motion.
I'll make it.
Go ahead.
I move to approve the items in the consent agenda.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor made by Commissioner DeValle to approve the items in the consent agenda as presented, seconded by Vice Mayor. If there's nothing to that, please vote. That passes 5-0. Moving on to presentations. Item number 260371, City Manager, this is your item.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This item is presentation of the Northport and Nonprofits United, or MP Squared Committee 2025 Annual Report by the Northport and Nonprofits United Committee members. I will turn it over to our Social Services Manager, Ms. Janet Carrillo, to lead us through the presentation.
Thank you.
Discussion. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Janet Carrillo, Social Services Manager for the record. Today, I have the privilege of introducing members of the Northport and Nonprofits United Committee, also known as MP Square. This presentation is MP Square's annual report to the City Commission, highlighting the committee's work over the past year. MP Square brings together representatives from education, nonprofits, local businesses, and the community to strengthen collaboration and support services that benefit Northport residents. The committee reviews and approves mission support requests from local nonprofits, helping them expand their impact in areas like education, food security, youth development, and services for older adults. Joining us today are Ms. Teresa Caracciolo, Chair of the Committee and Sarasota County Schools Representative, as well as Ms. Joan Morgan, Member of the Committee and Citizen at Large Representative. They will share a brief overview of the committee's past accomplishments and goals for the upcoming year. As always, it's a pleasure to be here with you and visit and share a little of our world with you. My staff will be available, my staff and I will be available for questions after the presentation, and we thank you for your time. All right, Teresa, Joe, thank you. And here's the mouse. Yes, there it is.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Janet. You're so fabulous, and your whole team supports us so much. Teresa Caracciola for the record, and I'm here standing with
Joan Morgan, for the record.
I am the chair for the Northport Nonprofit United Committee, also known as NP Squared. We're very excited to be here, and it's nice to see all of you today. Thank you so much for listening to us. Northport Squared is a collaborative effort between the city of Northport and our local nonprofits. The program is intended to offer any nonprofit serving the Northport community an opportunity to apply for a mission support item that will enhance and expand the agency's programming needs. A mission support item is a tangible object that enhances a nonprofit's level of service to the Northport community. To request a mission support item, Northport nonprofits must submit an application requesting their needs. The application will entail and describe the intended community need and impact by the agency. The committee then reviews the applications and confirms the agencies are in good financial standing and that all required documents are submitted for the agency's eligibility. Eligible expenditures are mission support items only. For example, a freezer or a refrigerator to keep items cold for an agency that distributes meals serving Northport residents. Please note the program is not intended to support the administrative costs of the applicant. Board members. Teresa Caracciola, Chair, Sarasota County Representative of Schools. My Vice Chair is Lisa Rowe. Licensed Mental Health Professional Representative. Amy Stevens, Member. Local Business Finance and Community Representative, Joan Morgan, Member, Citizen at Large Representative. And currently, we're looking for a representative of the older community. City Manager will appoint a person for this position.
Bill.
2025 committee accomplishments. Stop me at any time, please. I'm enjoying you all today. Thank you so much. Completed Sunshine Law training, gave direction on amending Northport Square documents for program efficiency, reviewed the 6 and 12-month impact statements for the fiscal year 23-24, the very first funding cycle, reviewed the 6 and 12-month impact statements for the fiscal year 24-25 second funding cycle, approved 9 agency applications totaling $14,257.05 for the fiscal year 25-26, the third funding cycle, and reviewed non-compliant agencies and provided directions for the next steps. Northport Meals on Wheels. So the following are highlights to some of the agencies that received funding. So starting with Northport Meal on Wheels. They requested item was a can opener. This is not your 50-cent can opener. This is a commercialized industrial $753.82 can opener. It was approved by the committee and fully funded, and Northport Meals on Wheels served 12,305 meals and opened 802 cans after receiving their mission support item. Friends of Shannon Staub Public Library requested item, large print books. The majority of us are all wearing glasses right now, so I know you can appreciate this. Large print. Requested item for $2,000 and approved by the committee and fully funded and received $2,000. The 65 new large print books have been circulated 402 times since the introduction in March. Each book has been borrowed an average of 6.18 times in 6 months. The books have been out of the library 4.5 of the 6 months. Boys and Girls Club. Requested item, portable speaker system with microphone in the amount of $1,713.03, approved by the committee and fully funded. The portable speaker and microphone improves staff communication throughout the facility, enhancing coordination during programs and events. Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Requested item, 7 Lenovo notebooks, $1,980. Approved by the committee, and amount received, $1,883.63. 7 Northport students that received a Lenovo laptop achieved timely grade level promotion or high school graduation. That one strikes my heart as I'm a school teacher and I love seeing that support. Thank you guys. 2026 committee goals. Complete Sunshine Law training for new committee members. Appoint a new chair and vice chair as terms expire. Follow up with non-compliant agencies regarding their impact statements. Review the 6-month agency impact reports for the fiscal year 25-26, the third funding cycle. Review and approve agency applications for the fiscal year 26-27, fourth funding cycle. And review the 12-month agency impact reports for the fiscal year 25-26, third funding cycle. For a final statement, excuse me, we would like to express our sincere thanks to the city manager and the social services staff for their dedicated administration of the program, and to the commissioners for their continued support and leadership. With the city's partnership and investment, we are able to create a meaningful impact for local nonprofit organizations and help further their vital missions within our community. Thank you so much. Do you have any questions?
Commissioners, any questions?
No questions? Thank you all.
Thank you. City Clerk, public comment?
I guess I would like to say thank you guys for all your work. As you have, I saw a lot of kid stuff up there, and I'd like to see that, especially with the parks, what's going on. And with the funding and everything that might going on might be getting harder, but I appreciate all the work you did, and especially taking care of those organizations. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you all. Great presentation. Moving on to public hearings. Ordinance number 2026-05. City Clerk, can you read by title only, please?
Ordinance number 2026-05, an ordinance of the City of Northport, Florida, amending the city charter of Northport, Florida to create section 1.05 corporate boundaries, providing for findings, providing for filing of documents, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, providing for codification, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. City Manager, this is your item.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So for this item, the information for second reading during the City Commission meeting held on March 10th, 2026, ordinance number 2026-05 was forwarded to second reading on a 5-0 vote. Today we recommend that you approve it on second reading of ordinance number 2026-05 as presented. Happy to answer any questions, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions? City Clerk, any public comment?
As you're already past this, and as I read this, we have to do this, is the way I was educated and brought up. Your police department, other departments can only go within your city boundaries, so I think this is quite important for the well-being of everybody, so everybody knows where everybody is. Because not too long ago, there was a situation where I don't think they could get involved because of where it was, so. But I think it needs to be passed, and I'll leave it at that.
Thank you. I'm going to close this public hearing and request a motion.
I'll make it.
Go ahead.
I move to adopt ordinance number 2026-05 as presented.
Second. I have a motion on the floor made by the Vice Mayor to adopt ordinance number 2026-05 as presented, seconded by Commissioner Stokes. If there's nothing to that, please vote. That passes 5-0. Moving on to ordinance number 2026-06. City Clerk, can you read by title only?
Ordinance number 2026-06, an ordinance of the City of Northport, Florida, amending the non-district budget and capital improvement budget for fiscal year 2025-2026 for purchase of replacement fire engine 85 and associated equipment, additional costs for the Utilities Administration Building and Field Operations Center, Project U18UAB, for a total sum of $3,795,000, providing for findings, providing for posting, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. City Manager, this is your item.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. During the City Commission regular meeting held on March 10th, 2026, ordinance number 2026-06 was continued as presented to second reading on a 5-0 vote. Today, we ask that you adopt ordinance number 2026-06 as presented. We're happy to answer any questions you might have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions? Not. City Clerk, public comment.
Senator Doyle?
Again, I don't know what the right price is. It was nice for the fire chief to come talk to me afterwards. You know, he told me what I brought up in the meeting of how when you go through a contract years ago, they didn't deliver on time. Like I said, we should get some money back. He was saying they don't do that anymore. I don't know, but when we're the people buying stuff, maybe we should start dictating some of the terms. No, I'm not against this because I don't know, but I'm just saying in the future. And there's been a lot in the news about not being able to get this stuff, and this stuff doesn't show up, it shows up late. Again, maybe you guys can get together and write a letter to Ford or maybe GM and say, look, you know, these small fire companies can't make these trucks anymore. Can you start making fire trucks? You know, people are looking for work. The worst they can say is no. A big company like that, get a letter from you, maybe they'll get involved. It's business. I don't know. You have to vote for it, but I think we need to do something to make sure the stuff doesn't take 10 years to get here.
That's all, Mayor.
And I'm going to close this public hearing and request a motion.
I'll make it.
Go ahead.
I move to adopt ordinance number 2026-06 as presented.
Have a motion on the floor to adopt ordinance number 2026-06 as presented, made by Commissioner Stokes, seconded by Commissioner Duval. Please vote. And that passes 5-0. Moving on to resolution number 2026-R-09. City Clerk, could you read by title only?
Resolution number 2026-R-09, a resolution of the City of Northport, Florida, accepting the transfer of water and wastewater infrastructure and improvements and associated warranties for Central Park Phases 1, 2, and 3, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for filings of documents, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. City Manager, this is your item.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For Central Park Phases 1, 2, and 3, the developer has constructed the required water and wastewater infrastructure, dedicated the necessary easements, and provided warranties to the city. The improvements have been inspected and approved by the Utilities Department. Under the executed developer agreement, the city is required to accept ownership of the completed infrastructure. Per section 5.10 of the developer agreement, the installations have a minimum 1-year warranty for the date of acceptance by the city. Resolution number 2026-R09 formalizes this transfer and authorizes recordation into public records for a clear identification of legal ownership. We ask you today to approve resolution number 2026-R09 as presented. I'm happy to answer any questions, Mr. Mayor.
Sir, Commission, any questions? City Clerk, public comment?
Senator Doyle?
Obviously, they are building something that they built and handing over. I guess the question after what the town manager had to say is, if there's a 1-year warranty on this, but if there's a pump station, or did I mishear you? If I say something wrong, tell me I'm wrong. When they hand it over to us, they're gonna, guarantee it for a year. But if they are handing over any pumps, are there any pumps on this system? Are there any, how long are the pumps warranty for? And things like that. They could be longer than a year. So I would look into things like that. It's just something I'm bringing up because you never know. Obviously, you're adding this to your city and sewer system. So this actually brings the value up on your city and water system because you're expanding it. And if down the road here we have any problems and we have to sell it, to me, this would make it more valuable. So I would say definitely vote to put it in there because down the road it might help us with getting more money.
That's on there.
Thank you. I'm going to close this public hearing and request a motion.
I'll make it.
Go ahead.
I move to adopt resolution number 2026-R-09 as presented.
I have a motion on the floor made by the Vice Mayor to adopt resolution number 2026-R-09 as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Stokes. If there's nothing to that, please vote. That passes 5-0. Moving on to resolution number 2026-R-17. City Clerk, can you read by title only, please?
Resolution number 2026-R-17, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Northport, Florida, amending and restating the designation of dog-friendly areas in specific city parks, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for ratification, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. City Manager, this is your item.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On July 25th of 2017, the City Commission approved resolution number 2017-R18, designating dog-friendly areas within 16 specified city parks. These areas allow on-leash dog access, excluding locations containing playgrounds, courts, batting cages, or sports fields. Signage identifying designated areas include guidelines, littering fines, and contact information. To further enhance dog-friendly recreational access, staff recommends adding Boca Chica Park and the Maya-Akahatchee Creek Greenway Trail to the list of designated dog-friendly areas. Both locations are well suited for on-leash dog activity and are frequently used by residents seeking passive outdoor recreation. Today, we ask that you approve resolution number 2026-R17 as presented. We are happy to answer any questions you may have, sir.
Thank you. Commission, any questions? City Clerk, any public comment? Oh, no, I see it. Just popped up. Go ahead, Commissioner Duval.
Thank you, Mayor. With this, I looked at the background material, and in the background material, it was stated, concerns of increased interreaction, with other park users, with people that have their animals, and it may require monitoring, and it may require education. And, my only question is, who's going to do that monitoring? But it is a concern, anytime you have, like a dog park. Some people take better care of their charges than others, so we just have to kind of watch out for that, but that's all.
All right, thank you.
Tim Doyle?
Thank you.
We've been talking about different things in the room the past few meetings about the parks. So you're making more space available at the parks for the dogs. Have you made any spots at the parks for the kids on the bikes? I guess I'll bring that up to you. We don't want them at the Coco Plum Plaza and in the roads. I don't have a problem with the, dogs walking here. It's not a big deal to me. But when you're starting to look at the parks and making, different things in different areas, maybe we tried to make something for the bikes. So maybe there could be a bike trail for these kids or something. Because I don't think the bikes should be on the trail with the dogs. My 2 cents.
Thank you. I'm going to close this public hearing and request a motion.
I'll make it.
Go ahead.
I move to adopt resolution number 2026-R-17 as presented.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor to adopt resolution number 2026-R-17 as presented, made by Commissioner Stokes, seconded by Vice Mayor Langdon. Nothing to that. Please vote.
Still want my goats.
No goats for you, sir. And that passes 5-0. Moving on to general business, item number 26-0383. City Manager, this is your item.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Item 26-0383 is discussion and possible action regarding proposed changes to the city fee schedule, Appendix A to the Code of the City of Northport, Florida, including but not limited to development services, fire rescue, parks and recreation, facility rental, solid waste, road and drainage, and utility fees. So in connection with the city's budget development process for the fiscal year of 26-27, staff reviewed the fees charged for services provided by the city. The fiscal year Appendix A proposed fees are and were attached to the item, and it outlines the proposed changes to various department fees. Concurrently, the development services staff are still conducting a comprehensive user fee study for their department, and the results of that study will be presented to the commission at a later date this year. Upon direction from the City Commission, the proposed fees will be incorporated into the citywide fee ordinance, and the ordinance will be presented to the City Commission for first reading on June 23rd and for adoption and a second reading on June 21st. Today, we ask that you have a discussion and possible action of any proposed changes to the city fee schedule of Appendix A for the City of Northport, but not limited to the prior departments I mentioned earlier. We're happy to answer any questions to help you reach a decision. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Commissioners, questions? Commissioner Duval.
It's not a question. Earlier in this meeting, we had, a speaker ask or talk about, increasing fees in Warm Mineral Springs. And a statement was made that Warm Mineral Springs makes money for the city. Well, Warm Mineral Springs also costs money for the city. If we put together all of the costs and, and those improvements that are coming, it all costs money. And, at a meeting, we can't address, a citizen speaker. But I just want to get it out there that there are two sides to this. And I feel that the fee increases, that we have to put in place for things like Warm Mineral Springs. The rest of the city taxpayers, whether they use it or not, they pay into those funds. So I support this.
Thank you. Commissioner Petro.
Same topic, but I just want to ask, why are we increasing some of the fees for the Warm Mineral Springs up to 20%? And my question is, what was the rate increase last year for the same fees for the Warm Mineral Springs as a percentage value?
Good evening, Sandy Funheller, Parks and Recreation Director. On July 8th of 2025, Parks and Recreation had a presentation to Commission with a phased decrease in the discount that is given to multi-visit passes. We showed that to Commission. We did the first year this past October 1st, and these fees that are in here now is that second year of that plan. It is not an increase to the daily admission fee. It is actually a reduction in the discount that we are giving for multi-visit passes. So those are sold 10 visits or 30 visits. It's a convenience to sell those visits bundled together, and at the time of purchase, it's communicated that there is 6 months to use those visits. So that's what you see in here is us following the plan that we presented.
And the second question I had was the Northport Aquatic Center rental, and some of the increases, 26% hike, 20% hike, and justification is just a slight, I think it's 11. And that says that alignment with Wilden fee analysis recommendation offset increased personal cost. And I assume that's the consulting firm, correct?
That was the study that was done, the Wilden fee schedule study, and we raised some of the prices this past year, but we didn't do the full increase on all of them. So this is bringing it to what was recommended by the consultant as the proper fee to charge.
And as far as the personnel presence or personnel expense that has to be present there, how many people would be required to monitor the rental activity?
That's going to depend on how many spaces are rented and which spaces are rented.
So, for example, if I'm looking at this, the first one, which is 26% hike, pavilion, splash pad, lazy river, not including slides. So how many staff would be required to be present for that?
I will let our Assistant Director, Trish Sturgis, respond to that.
Hi, Trish Sturgis for the record. So what happens is with each body of water, it has an approved emergency action plan. Each one of those carries a significant number of staff. If we open just the competition pool, we're talking 3 staff with a rotation on for a 4th one. If we open the kids' play area, in addition to that, that's 2 more staff with a 3rd person that rotates through that rotation. The lazy river is where we hit a big abundance of people because that body of water alone takes 11 staff to manage.
Okay. Thank you.
Is that it? Thank you. See nothing else. City Clerk, public comment?
This is a hard one because you don't know anything about your funding next year. The one thing I'll say on all this is, as you go up, people aren't going to come. And if the taxpayers vote something in and you go around it and you raise all the fees and their tax bills really don't go down, you're going to have a revolution on your hands. I don't know what the right price to charge, but I did hear something here that really annoys me. And I'm going to say it. They started this stuff before I retired, and I told them off then, and I'm going to say it now. We pay you guys to make decisions, not consulting firms. You guys can't figure out the price of your pool. You have to call someone and pay them money to tell you what to charge? I'm sorry. That's where all our tax money goes now. It's like the highways and the Easy Pass. I mean, we're just paying outside services all this money, and it's soaking up all the money. Maybe you need to really look at all the budgets in all these places and take out the stuff that we really don't need, like some of these consultant firms. I trust the lady who knows that 11 people need to be in that pool. I trust the lifeguard, not the consultant firms. Consultant firms can get in trouble. And all these computer programs and stuff, we need to cut a lot of that stuff out. Not just go up on rates. You need to look where all the money's going. And we can't get rid of the parks. I'm sorry. No way you can get rid of the parks. Everybody in the community, from a newborn to an older person, goes to the parks in some way, shape, or form. I mean, I don't know what to tell you on this, but if you go up and we get some new funding, or you guys put some new taxes in there, are you going to be going down? It's just like with the cost of living increases. When the cost of living goes down, do you ever get those back? Will these prices drop when the things go down? I want you to think about that.
Thank you. City Manager, what did you want on this?
If there were no changes from the board as proposed, we will continue on to include this in our budget process and bring it back to you.
Motion on that.
Do I need a motion on that, Madam Clerk?
If you want one.
I do not want one.
All right, you're good, Doug.
Thank you.
Just wanted to make sure you were covered. Thank you. City Clerk, final public comment, please.
Tim Doyle?
So I come to these meetings to put my 2 cents in. If you see me here, you know I'm not happy. We need to change a couple of the laws in town. We really do. All over the state here. I mean, the document I was taught in school says, "We the people." Doesn't say "we the corporation." Do you know I could make a legal argument to have Walmart kicked out of Florida as being a nuisance to our society? People get killed in their parking lots, run over by cars. They create theft in town, bring undesirables in, just like a bar would. Would you put up with a bar if people were being killed in their parking lot? People were robbing them 10 times a day. Would you put up with a bar who had a special parking spot for a cop? We do that for Walmart though, don't we? All the laws around here are to protect corporations and not the people. And we need to change some of this. I want an ordinance. If someone puts up a fence, it has to be built on their property. I will not leave this room or stop coming to the meetings until that is done. This is despicable. You allow people to steal from people down here. And it's despicable. You know, we had the whole thing with the police department and they had the different tickets and stuff up there. It makes me sick that they spend more than half their time on traffic. Because that's what I took out of that. And the one thing I know, the police can spend all day long on traffic. People are still gonna die. Because they always get there afterwards. I grew up above a funeral home. I know that for a fact. Happened to my brother. So I look at things a lot different than you guys. And I talk about things because I know what really happens in life. And come Friday, you wait to see how many body bags are going to start to come home. So I'd like to see some changes. You know what I'm looking for. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to Commission Communications, Commissioner Duval.
Thank you, Mayor. I went out and helped Awaken Church members park cars Saturday night at a baseball game out at Cool Today Park. I also spent an afternoon distributing food with the Awaken Church people. And I also felt very honored to attend a retirement ceremony for one of our police motor officers, Officer Dupre. And also attended the giveaway of a home from Tunnels to Towers organization to a paraplegic Army serviceman who's a paraplegic as a result of his service to this country. I feel honored that I was able to attend those things. Those people are police officers on a local level. They support us. They actually put their lives on the line every time they come to work for us. and service members, to volunteer your service to this country and to have to spend the rest of your life in a wheelchair because of it. You deserve appreciation and recognition. That's all.
Thank you. Commissioner Stokes?
I'd just like to echo what Commissioner Duval said and thank him for representing us. I know I try to get to as many things as I possibly can. I miss both these events, much to my chagrin, and I have to say I appreciate you being there representing us. So thank you, sir. So,
I'll ditto that.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Vice Mayor?
Yes, I submitted a written report to City Clerk's office to attach to tonight's agenda, for anyone who's interested.
And Commissioner Petro?
None for me, sir.
Nothing? Okay, I couldn't hear you, I'm sorry. City Clerk? Really? Okay. City Attorney? And City Manager?
Nothing, Mr. Mayor.
All righty, thank you. And it's 6:56 and we're adjourned.